إن الحمد لله نحمده ونستعينه ونستهديه ونستغفره ونعوذ بالله من شرور أنفسنا ومن سيئات أعمالنا. من يهده الله فلا مضل له ومن يضلل فلا هادي له، وأشهد أن لا إله إلا الله وحده لا شريك له، وأشهد أن محمدا عبده ورسوله صلى الله عليه وعلى آله وأصحابه وسلم تسليما كثيرا. أما بعد. Let's take some proof on da'wah. Allah in the Quran said in Surat Yusuf, قُلْ هَذِهِ سَبِيلِ أَدْعُو إِلَى اللَّهِ عَلَى بَصِيرَةٍ أَنَا وَمَنِ اتَّبَعَنِي. Say, O Prophet, Allah is telling the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wasallam say, this is my way. This is my way. I invite people unto Allah, unto monotheism, unto the oneness of Allah. Da'wah. Da'wah, that's what we're for. We're pro-da'wah. It's not that we're against da'wah, but there's proper ways for da'wah. Ad'u ila Allahi ala basira, ala knowledge. That's why you all come here today. Why? Because you want to go convey this message ala basira, with knowledge. Ana wa man ittaba'ani. Ibn al-Qayyim rahimahullah, me and those who follow me. Ibn al-Qayyim rahimahullah said, you can't be a follower of the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wasallam truthfully. You can't be a follower of the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wasallam truthfully unless you call to that which the Prophet sallallahu alayhi wasallam called with knowledge. That's a restriction in the Quran. هذه سبيلي أدعو إلى الله على بصيرة. As a da'iyah, you present this da'wah, this message. You put the seed and you leave the rest to Allah. You put the seed wherever you are and you leave the rest to Allah. وَمَنْ أَحْسَنُ قَوْلًا مِمَّنْ دَعَا إِلَى اللَّهِ وَعَمِلَ صَالِحًا وَقَالَ إِنَّنِي مِنَ الْمُسْلِمِينَ. Who is better in speech than he who says, my Lord is Allah. أَحْسَنُ قَوْلًا مِمَّنْ دَعَا إِلَى اللَّهِ. Then he says, my Lord is Allah. مِمَّنْ دَعَا إِلَى اللَّهِ وَعَمِلَ صَالِحًا. And stays firm and steadfast on it. وَقَالَ إِنَّنِي مِنَ الْمُسْلِمِينَ. And says, I am a Muslim and I am among the Muslimin. If a big firm or corporation offers one of you a job, he eagerly jumps to it. He'd go to training. He'd possibly go back to college and get an update in his field. He'd do whatever it is to get that high-ranking job that corporation gave him, offered him. And then he'll bolster about the offer that he got. Da'wah is an offer from Allah the Almighty, a job. From Allah, not from a corporation or a king or a president. It's an offer from Allah the Almighty. You're doing the job of the messengers. كنتم خير أمة أخرجت للناس. كنتم خير أمة أخرجت للناس تأمرون بالمعروف وتنهون عن المنكر وتؤمنون بالله. You, true believers in Tawheed, in Islamic Monotheism, you are the real followers of the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wasallam. You كنتم خير أمة. You are the best. You were, you are, and you will be. That's what kuntum means. You were, you are, you will be. You are the best of all people raised up for mankind. You are in charge of mankind. The best of all people. Why? Because we're Arab. Because we're black. We have white. We got everything. We have Pakistani. We have everything here. Why? Why are we the best of all people? Is it based on ethnicity? Allah say, you're the best of mankind based on your ethnicity? You're the best of mankind based on nationalism? You're the best of mankind based on your color and your race? It's khayriyya. You are the best of all mankind carrying and conveying this message. By carrying and conveying this message. تَأْمُرُونَ بِالْمَعْرُوفِ وَتَنْهَوْنَ. That's what makes you the best. The da'wah to Allah is what makes you the best. We are an ummah of da'wah. An ummah that conveys the message. We are an ummah in charge of all the other ummah. We were honored because we are the carriers of this message who convey it. تَأْمُرُونَ بِالْمَعْرُوفِ وَتَنْهَوْنَ عَنِ الْمُنكَرِ. The Prophet sallallahu alayhi wasallam said, قل إني لن يجيرني من الله أحد ولن أجد من دونه ملتحدا قل إني لن يجيرني من الله أحد ولن أجد من دونه ملتحدا إلا بلاغا من الله ورسالاته ومن يعص الله ورسوله فإن له نار جهنم خالدين فيها أبدا. The Prophet sallallahu alayhi wasallam said, قل إني لن يجيرني من الله أحدا. None can protect me from Allah's punishment. No one can protect me from the punishment of Allah. If I were to disobey Allah, no one can. Who can protect you? And the Prophet ﷺ is talking about himself, but this applies to all of us. Who can protect us from the punishment of Allah? قل إني لن يجيرني من الله أحد ولن أجد من دونه ملتحدا. If I were to disobey Allah, no one can protect me from the punishment of Allah, nor can I find refuge except in Allah. Except illa balaghan, except for conveyance of the truth from Allah and His Messenger. Some of the ulama said, no one can protect from the punishment of Allah, which is essential. No one denies that. No one can protect from the punishment of Allah if He wants to punish, but conveyance, this verse means conveyance of this message is protection from the punishment of Allah. Conveyance of this message is one of your means for the protection of the punishment from Allah. إِلَّا بَلَاغًا مِّنَ اللَّهِ وَرِسَالَاتِهِ. We were honored with da'wah. Our pride is da'wah. Our pride in this religion comes through da'wah. Allah tells His Prophet Muhammad ﷺ in the early days, يَا أَيُّهَا الْمُدَّثِّرِ. He says, قُمْ فَأَنذِرْ. يَا أَيُّهَا الْمُدَّثِّرِ قُمْ فَأَنذِرْ. O you, Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wasallam, you who are covered up in garments, rise up and warn. Rise up and warn. What does that mean? That's da'wah. That's ordaining the good and forbidding the evil. Get up and warn. Wallahi, he got up from that moment and never rested until his last gasp. He got up from that moment. The early days when Allah gave him that verse and ordered him, and he never rested till the very last gasp of his breath. You know a ayah, you know a hadith, you know the principle of la ilaha illallah, then convey it. That's all you have to convey. If what you know and what you firmly know, as we mentioned last week, the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam said, بَلِّغُوا عَنِّي وَلَوْ آيَةً. Convey even if one ayah. Convey from me, even if it is one ayah. So if you know one ayah, convey it. If you know one hadith, convey it. If you don't know one ayah or one hadith, and you know la ilaha illallah, which you all know, then convey it to your neighbor, to your friend, to any setting you are in. In Sunan Ahmad, if you don't know, a leaflet, a brochure, a CD, a link. Go on, like I told the youth in my recent visit. I said if there was something called Facebook and Twitter and these media and it's so easy to make websites, I would have had 1,000 websites. I would have had by now 1,000 websites conveying the da'wah. You sit there and you convey the da'wah. In Sunan Ahmad al-Tirmidhi, the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wasallam makes dua for you for a bright face. He made special dua for you, those who hear a hadith and transmit them to others. The Prophet ﷺ made dua for you because of that. May Allah brighten the face of the person who hears what I say and retains it. May Allah brighten the face of a person who hears what I say and retains it. You understand it, meaning understand it, meaning have the knowledge. That's what it means. فَوَعَاهَا, retains it. فَوَعَاهَا, understands it, absorbs it, and comprehends it. Then he conveys it to others. Ibn Mas'ud, in Abu Hurairah, in Muslim, and in other books of the hadith. Whoever calls to guidance will have the reward similar to all those who follow with him without their reward being diminished in any tiny bit or way. Whoever calls to guidance, and that's the opposite, he will have the sins similar to all those who follow with the sin, not a tiny bit any less than that, the sins that they get. So if I misguide 100 people, all their sins come, la samah Allah, la qaddar Allah, and me. In Bukhari and Muslim, when the Prophet sallallahu alayhi wasallam gave Ali the banner, the Prophet sallallahu alayhi wasallam gave Ali the banner in the battle of Khaybar. After the Prophet sallallahu alayhi wasallam blew in his eyes because Ali radiallahu an had an illness, the Prophet sallallahu alayhi wasallam gives him the banner and gives him the advice. Listen to the advice the Prophet sallallahu alayhi wasallam gives Ali. He says, be patient when you get on their turf. When you get there to where you're headed, be patient, take it easy. You know what he says? And call them onto Islam. And call them onto Islam. And let them know what is obligated upon them. Because Ali. Why? Because Ali, by Allah, the Prophet gives an oath. By Allah, for Allah to guide one man by you is better for you than the red camels. For Allah to guide one man by you is better for you than red camel. It could be guide you to Islam. Guide someone to Islam. Guide him to coming back to Salah, and that's coming back to Islam. Or guide someone to come in, leaving alcohol or any major sin. And as you know, the red camel is the best of the wealth of the Arab back then. And similarly, likewise, today, saying one of the most expensive cars, a fleet of one of the most expensive cars today. The Prophet ﷺ was at the doors of those who harmed him. Victory was moments away. He's given the banner to Ali to go. It's a defeat for them, inshallah, because he knew that. The victory was moments away from people who harmed the Prophet ﷺ for a very long time. If it was blood he wanted, he wouldn't have told Ali that. If he was eager to get their blood, he wouldn't, because it was inshallah imminent victory for the Prophet ﷺ. He had the upper hand at that time. But his worry was supreme, was big. He says, Ali, by Allah, easy. Take it easy, Ali. By Allah, for Allah to guide one man with you is better for you than the red camels. In Bukhari and in Muslim, Aisha radiallahu anha asked the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wasallam, have you encountered a day harder than the day of Uhud? Aisha was a little bit older and she seen what happened in Uhud. And she comprehended it and absorbed it and seen what the Prophet sallallahu alayhi wasallam went through. She said, O Prophet of Allah, have you encountered a day harder than the day of Uhud? Have you encountered a day worse than the day of Uhud? Was there any day worse than that? She's seen what happened to him. Aisha wants to know the hardest day that the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam encountered. The Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam replied, your tribe has troubled me a lot. Your tribe and his tribe, but he's saying your tribe has troubled me a lot. And the worst trouble was the trouble on the day of Aqaba. The day of Aqaba is the day of Ta'if, when the Prophet ﷺ went on to the mountain of the Ta'if and got in. They told their kids to drive the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam away and rejected the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Aisha radiallahu anha wants to know what the worst day that he encountered was. What is it? She wants to know, was it Uhud? And she specified Uhud. She suggested Uhud because she's seen what happened to the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam in Uhud. So she's assuming somewhat that Uhud may have been the worst day to the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam in his da'wah career. In his 23 years, she assumed, possibly, most likely, that's why she mentioned in the question, that Uhud was the worst day. Why did she specify that? Because she's seen what happened to the blessed head of the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, the wound. She's seen it. She's seen the wounds that the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam encountered that day. She's seen that the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam's teeth were damaged that day. She's seen that the helmet was crushed on the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam that day. She's seen that Fatima radiallahu anha burns a mat, reducing it to ashes. It's some form of medical thing that they used to do back then for wounds. Fatima burns a mat and reduces it to ashes and takes those ashes and puts it on the wound of the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. That was used back then to stop bleeding. Why wasn't it the death, why wasn't it Uhud that was the worst day of the Prophet ﷺ's da'wah career? Even though all that happened. More than that, why wasn't it the worst day when the uncle of the Prophet ﷺ died in that battle, and the Prophet ﷺ wept so hard like a young child over his uncle when he seen him in the status he was in? Why wasn't the worst day the same day when 70 of his most beloved companions died and became martyrs, inshallah, in that battle? The men he loved so dearly, many of them who were his relatives. Or take it even further. Why wasn't the worst day the days he spent in agony when the hypocrite spoke about his wife's honor? You know, to a man, that's very big. Today, many don't understand it because they're not real men. But a real man doesn't allow anyone to talk or dishonor his wife or his woman. And the Prophet ﷺ went through that when the hypocrites began the rumor, and some of the Sahaba mistakenly got involved in it, and they spoke ill about the Prophet ﷺ's wife. Why wasn't it that? Why wasn't it the day they put the guts of a camel on the Prophet ﷺ's back, and they began to laugh so much that they fell on top of each other, as is stated in the Sahih? Why wasn't it the day that they choked the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wasallam with his own upper garment until he nearly fainted and fell to his knees right by the Kaaba? Why wasn't it the humiliation they put him through, the Quraysh put him through for many years and years? Why wasn't it that was the worst day of the Prophet sallallahu alayhi wasallam's career in da'wah? Why wasn't it that? He said it was the day of Ta'if. What was so special about the day of Ta'if? Even though, why was it the day of Ta'if? When you read the events of that day, there was physical harm to the Prophet ﷺ that day. But it was much less than any of that which I just mentioned to you. The physical harm to the Prophet on the day of Ta'if was much less harm than many of the guts of the camel, or when they tried to choke him, or when many of the other things when they talked about his honor. The matter of the Ta'if was somewhat less than that physically. What happened in Uhud was uncomparable to what happened in Ta'if. When the Prophet ﷺ's companions get killed, his uncle gets killed, and he gets wounded. What happened in other events was uncomparable to the hardship he sallallahu alayhi wasallam faced on the day of Ta'if. So why did you, O Prophet of Allah, choose the day of Ta'if? Why did you choose that day to tell Aisha that was the worst day? Because Aisha, and here it is, Aisha may have meant what was the worst day to you, O Prophet of Allah, what was the worst day that you encountered, O Prophet of Allah, physically. She may have implied or meant physically. That's why she meant Uhud. What was happening to you, even though not physically, trauma-wise, when you see 70 of your companions and your uncle and you weep over him, mentally or physically, that's very sad and very devastating. She possibly meant that. When you read Sirah, read it deep and read in between the lines. He went to a Ta'if with the big hopes that they were going to enter Islam. When he went to a Ta'if and he climbed up, he had such big hopes that now Ta'if is going to enter Islam, and this is going to be the first Islamic city of Khilafah, and from here Islam is going to take. He had a lot of hopes when he went to a Ta'if. It's not about me what he's trying to say. It's not about me. It's not about the wounds in my head. It's not about the teeth that were being chipped or damaged. It's not about the death of my companions, because we're going to meet, inshallah, in Jannah. It's the agony of seeing the message that he was conveying getting rejected. That's what it was. He went with such hope to a Ta'if, in the hopes that they're going to embrace and follow this religion. So he comes back with big agony. Agony of seeing the message that he was sent to convey getting rejected. That was the worst day of the Prophet ﷺ's da'wah. The message getting rejected. Oh, everything else I can withstand. They want to hit me, wound me, choke me, whatever. But the message get rejected, that was devastating. That's why he said that was the worst day. That's why Allah in many verses in the Quran calms His Prophet down. And He tells him when he's hurt over those who reject the truth. The Prophet sallallahu alayhi wasallam, Allah sees what's in the heart of the Prophet sallallahu alayhi wasallam. And He sees that he's hurt, he's distraught over those who are rejecting the truth. Dawah was his life. It was his heart. It was his soul. It runs through his veins. And that's how it should be and must be for every Muslim and every da'iyah. It becomes like his flesh and blood. Da'wah becomes like your flesh and blood. When a true da'iyah is deprived of da'wah, in reality, when a true da'iyah is deprived of da'wah, he feels as if the underground is better for him than being on top of the ground. That's a true da'iyah. That's a true Muslim. We call that a da'iyah today, but that's a true Muslim. Because da'wah is part of every single Muslim's life. So Allah calms His Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wasallam many times in the Quran. He goes to a Ta'if with the hopes. That's his worst day. Even though what happened to him physically was much lesser than the other day, he says to Aisha it was the day of Ta'if because he was rejected. His da'wah was rejected. Allah tells him many times, فَلَا تَذْهَبْ نَفْسُكَ عَلَيْهِمْ حَسَرَاتٍ. Take it easy. Don't destroy yourself. Take it easy. Don't destroy yourself, O Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wasallam, in sorrow over them. Take it easy. فَلَا تَذْهَبْ نَفْسُكَ عَلَيْهِمْ حَسَرَاتٍ. In another verse, Allah sends him words to calm him down. فَلَعَلَّكَ بَاخِعٌ نَفْسَكَ عَلَى آثَارِهِمْ إِن لَمْ يُؤْمِنُوا بِهَذَا الْحَدِيثِ أَسَفًا. Perhaps, Muhammad, you would kill yourself. Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wasallam, you perhaps would kill yourself in grief, in following in their footsteps for their turning away from you because they believe not in this message. You keep chasing after them, running after them in agony, in sorrow. Take it easy, O Prophet of Allah. Allah is trying to tell him, take it easy. فَلَعَلَّكَ بَاخِعٌ نَفْسَكَ عَلَى آثَارِهِمْ إِن لَمْ يُؤْمِنُوا بِهَذَا الْحَدِيثِ أَسَفًا. More words to calm him down. وَاصْبِرْ وَمَا صَبْرُكَ إِلَّا بِاللَّهِ وَلَا تَحْزَنْ عَلَيْهِمْ وَلَا تَكُ فِي ضَيْقٍ مِمَّا يَمْكُرُونَ. Isbir. Why? Because they hit you. Because they harmed you. No, Allah is telling them in this verse, وَاصْبِرْ وَمَا صَبْرُكَ إِلَّا بِاللَّهِ. Endure patiently, O Muhammad. Endure patiently. Endure patiently, Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wasallam. Your patience comes only from Allah. Don't grieve over them. Don't grieve over them. وَلَا تَحْزَنْ عَلَيْهِمْ. Don't grieve over them. Don't be distressed over them. Don't grieve over them. Don't be distressed over them. Allah calms His Messenger sallallahu alayhi wasallam down because He's traumatized over them rejecting the message. Because to a true believer, his message and conveying it becomes more important than he himself is. It becomes more important than myself. It becomes more important than my family. It becomes more important than my wealth. And it becomes more important than my honor. Da'wah, in conveyance of this message, is the number one priority for a believer.